Hello, and welcome back to another War Thunder video, where today's video is going to be about the Dornier 335 B-2. The Dornier 335 B-2 is a German rank 4 premium air defense fighter at a battle rating of 5.7, and in this replay you will see me playing on the Sicily map, realistic battles on Operation Game Mode. So, this plane is very novel because it has two propellers, one in the front, one in the back. The one in the front acts as a puller, the one in the back acts as a pusher. And it also gets an air defense fighter spawn, which allows it to be very effective at bomber hunting, as well as diving on its opponents. So, whenever you join the battle, you should always try to get to higher altitudes. 5,000, 6,000, and 7,000 are usually good enough to start diving. And since you get to such high altitudes, you're usually over the bombers, because the bombers aren't usually able to get to very high altitudes, at least over where they spawn. So now you see me in the replay get to about 3,600 meters. So this plane is not a bad climber. It's okay. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. So you should always climb, and then once you find a bomber or a plane at lower altitude, you can attack. But you should always be careful at what you're attacking, because you cannot turn fight in this plane, since it has a 26-second turn time in realistic battles and 24.3 in arcade battles. And also what makes it very effective at bomber hunting is its three 30mm Mk 103 cannons with 350 rounds, 150 in each cannon, and fire 380 rounds per minute, as well as two 20mm MG 151 cannons that have 400 rounds, 200 in each, and fire 750 rounds per minute. So here you see me diving, since I see that there is an American plane attacking our base and the ground vehicles. So now you see me pull up, since this plane is heavy, and you have to always watch out is if you go too fast and you're at very low altitude, you can very easily crash into the ground. And you also don't have to worry too much about the over speeding, because the plane only starts to take damage at 945 kilometers per hour. So you see, now I'm behind this A2D1. I'm way too fast for him, and I get really close to him very quickly, and I take some shots and I miss. Since these are high caliber rounds, you have to deal with the velocity a little bit, but you can see once they hit, they absolutely destroy. And now I move on to the next target. I probably should have gone to higher altitudes before attacking him, but I attacked him anyway, and he is destroying a lot of the anti-air on my team. So I take some shots and I miss. So I'm going way too fast, so I'm gonna have to get to higher altitude and turn around and go after him again. This plane also has some armor, actually. It has 70mm bulletproof glass next in front of the pilot, so it's able to protect the pilot from rounds. The pilot it's very easy for the pilot to survive. And now you could see me dealing with the P-51. So you can see I'm turning with the P-51. He zooms right by my face. Luckily he doesn't destroy my frontal propeller. And you could see I'm turning with this P-51, which you can do, but you can't do any like extreme turn fighting like you can with fighters. So I go into head-on with this P-51, and I destroy him in the head-on. This plane is pretty effective in head-ons. It's not the best. You always have to aim a little higher to deal with the velocity, but it works. And this is one big problem with the plane. It lights on fire very easily. While it does survive most fires, it lights on fire very easily since it has 2 engines. And it leaks very easily. So now my plane is basically done for. I have 8 seconds of fuel left because of the fire, and I just bump into it and luckily land without killing my pilot. So yeah, you could see that the pilot survives very well. But the plane, not so much. This plane is absolutely not a beginner plane. You have to be very, well, not very, very experienced, but you have to be at least somewhat experienced to fly it because it's not like easy like a fighter. So here you could see how this plane deals with fighters and bombers at its rank, and it fights American, Soviet, and British bombers mostly, and it deals with them very well. Pretty much every bomber that you attack, you will kill, since you go much faster than them, and you can turn, unlike them, who can, well, they can turn, but they can't turn as well as you. So this is a very heavy fighter, and this plane is actually very effective in ground battles, which I will do a video on later. And its ground ammo for the 30mm cannons has 95mm of penetration, which is absolutely crazy, and it's able to deal with them so well. So you absolutely destroy all, well, almost all of the tanks and tank destroyers that you deal with in ground battles. So here you see in the clouds, I don't even see the bomber, and I'm still able to deal with him. He kind of gave himself away because he fired. But you could see, just like if one group of rounds hits the bomber, it just destroys them. So this plane is quite an effective plane. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. You have to play it somewhat similarly to jets, in the case they have to keep your energy. And it's very effective at what it does. And also, historically, this plane was built to kill bombers. It actually ran on diesel, surprisingly. And 2,000 were supposed to be built, but only about 4 were. So this plane was, if it was built earlier, the Germans could have stopped the Allied invasions, but it wasn't, so they couldn't. And it was a very effective plane, but now there's only one left. I'm pretty sure it's in either England or Germany. So here you see how I deal with fighters. So here's the P-51, and I shoot a group right into his mid part, and he is dead. So this plane is a very nice plane, and I'm gonna end the video here. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.